There will be some autograph signings out front. If you guys could mull around in the foyer for a while.
Danny, I forgot my book. Russ who?
Please come back in here if you have not. Because a lot of local guys have picked up your gear. We're giving you the duffel bag and a travel kit. Those of you, the out-of-town guys, and those who didn't register, come back here, back to that table, and we'll give you that gear, check you off, and send you on your way, okay? So,
we're not going to be going in early because Mike Sutherland, the MC, isn't even here yet.
He's here, right there.
About time.
Come on, Sudsy. So we'll be ready in a couple of minutes. Hang in your positions.
And if you want to see Russ Jackson, is Bill Van Berkeley on here.
Where the rider jersey, and you're sitting at the table and you're sitting at a rider table. No disrespect, just the way it worked is. Okay? So that way I said to your last time. We're going to 5 minutes away. Some of you are going to see this going in there. He's going to just introduce himself to the crowd and then we'll get going.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Greg.
Donnie, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
So, what's with Western?
Pretty good.
81 to 3.
Yeah, well, they're pretty good.
Holy smoke! Did you just get here?
I've been here for a little while.
Okay.
Just kind of walking around, seeing guys and stuff.
Good. Well, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Part of our organizing committee. One of my coaches when I played for the Ottawa Sooners. Davis, over to you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. Quand ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Mr. Watt, everybody.
On a couple of things. Some of you will remember in the 7-6 Grey Cup, the coach told me to go in and punt the ball and I ran it for 52 yards. But now my peers have asked me to say grace. I wonder if they are expecting something other than grace. But this is all about leadership. What an incredible scene before me here today. I'm just meeting all the guys and their partners and just fantastic. So leadership is what this league is all about. Now there was a leader about 500 BC, his name was Isaiah. How many of you know Isaiah? Great guy, you've meet him one day perhaps. But he said this, he said, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news. The CFL is all about football. But our league is constantly committed to bringing good news to our cities and our nation. And right now, just this celebration alone is good news to our city's capital, our nation's capital. So grace is really about gratitude, and you know that as well as I do. So I'm going to just pray in a moment, but give thanks in your own way and stuff from your heart. That's awesome. So let me just read a very short prayer with you. Lord, we're so thankful that we can celebrate this day together. We're grateful for all you have provided. Just for the fact that we can gather together today is a real gift. And especially now, we give you thanks for the food we're about to enjoy. We're grateful for the people that prepared it and those that will serve us. So we give you thanks, especially for this day and this great celebration of the Great Cup and the alumni. In Christ's name, amen.
Canadian Football League, but there is nobody in the world that can explain to you what it's like to be the commissioner of this great league until you step into these shoes and you walk into Canada for the first time in this new role.
You're good.
And then you realize in a moment just how fundamentally important the CFL is to Canada, how important it is fundamentally to Canada, and it is linked to our country in a very, very special and very unique way.
Yards and more. As the drive continued, Avery would make a key block on this reception by Tony Gabriel, who earned an extra 22 valuable yards as a result.
Avery, number 18, who gets a big block. You see how wide open Gabriel is. Watch the block by Avery there.
Ottawa didn't find the end zone on this possession. The field was flipped in
Look at
their
the center,
favor.
Terry.
Next time they would get the football, they completed the comeback. Clemens to Gabriel, 23-20, the final. All-Star recognition would come Avery's way in 1977 and 78. He was voted to the CFL's Eastern team in both those seasons for his 84 receptions and nearly 1,400 yards. In all, during his 7-year career with the Rough Riders, Avery hauled in 169 passes for over 2,600 yards and 15 touchdowns.
So the reason we're here today isn't to honor Jeff's football career, although he had quite a football career. He's in the Ottawa U Hall of Fame. It's what he's done as the president of the CFL Ottawa Alumni. And our board had the choice of who we would select for CFL Men of the Year, and the first person we thought of was our president, Jeff. And I've known Jeff since 1972. After my football career, I was a coach at the University of Ottawa, and Jeff arrived as a rookie in 1972. I didn't coach him because he was a receiver, and I didn't have the hands for that sort of stuff. But anyway, Jeff, his resume we didn't have football here, as you know, for a long time. And Jeff has been the president of our CFL Ottawa Alumni Association for 15 years. And he was part of the CFL Alumni Association, founding person with that, the support fund that we're here today, and helped our friend Rick Sovieta that we put a lot of money to. Unfortunately, it didn't save him, but that was the kind of things we do. And who started that fund, that support fund, but Jeff Avery, along with a couple other guys. And he's also just such a supportive guy. And I know working with him, I've been taking over part of the role with him for the last 3 years, but Jeff always had support of family. The Avery girls and his dad and his mother were legendary. Every place Jeff went, it was his dad Harry, his mother Muriel, sisters Debbie, Judy, and Catherine, and what a crew they are. They know how to party. They're from McLaren's Landing. And also Jeff has a good friend now, Danielle, and if you'll notice on our CFL social media, she's our social media guru, so we've look a lot smarter on Facebook and on Twitter and that sort of stuff thanks to Danielle, and they make a great pair. So anyway, the reason for Jeff to be CFL Man of the Year is because of his leadership, and of course we know that he's been the radio voice of the Rough Riders, and then the Renegades, now the Red Blacks, since 1988 or 89. And on Sunday, Jeff is being brought into the Football Reporters Hall of Fame for his role there. So the honors will just keep coming for Jeff. So Jeff, do you want to come up and say a few words, please? And while
everybody on the 12 guys in the field aren't doing their job. You know, great stars that we have in the room like Russ Jackson and Tucker don't get to do their jobs and run up all the numbers. So when we move on to our Alumni Association, we have those same team concepts, at least I do in my head. And, you know, the years we didn't have football here in Ottawa, it's, you know, Bob Bakarchuk and Ted Smale and myself would meet and try and run a golf tournament and just keep the guys interested around town. And, you know, without them, you know, trying on jackets and shirts in Ted's living room, you know, we wouldn't have gotten this far. And of course now, we've expanded our numbers, Gary Page and Bob McEwen and Gordy Bunke and of course Jimmy Kane here and Danny Dever. You know, we work as a group to make events like this happen. And you know, I know it was mentioned earlier, but this is by far the largest CFL Legends Luncheon that has ever taken place in our 9-year history. When we started this back in Montreal in 2009, I couldn't imagine. So I really, you know, I want to thank each and every one of you for illustrating once again what a great football town Ottawa is, just by your numbers and your support we have here today. Certainly great to have my family and friends here, and Danielle's, you know, behind the scenes, we do a lot of the work, I know, but she does more than any of us. She does our newsletters, does all our social media stuff, so all the stuff we wouldn't be able to do. So really just want to thank you, the National Alumni Association, for this really wonderful award. Kind of overwhelmed, but it's great to see so many friends here shaking hands with everybody. Thanks very much.
185 touchdowns. 4 times, Russ Jackson would be named as the CFL's most outstanding Canadian, and 3 times selected as the league's most outstanding player, including in 1969, where as a true champion, he was chosen the Grey Cup MVP in his final game.
Let's tell by that excellent close-up shot of Russ Jackson. How he feels at this very...
So those great videos are put together by Joe Pascucci, and he's in the Hall of Fame that Jeff's going into, because he was the lead sports director in Winnipeg for many years. So I've known Russ a little longer than I've known Jeff. I arrived here as a rookie in 1961, and so I played with Russ through 69. And people probably don't know this, but when we moved to the south side stands, our lockers, Russ was beside mine, and so people think that it was Frank Clare and Russ with the offensive ideas, but it was really Jim Kane that was coming up with those ideas. Anyway, you know about Russ's career, and the reason when we sat down to pick the Alumni of the Year, we picked Jeff, and then we started talking about other people we could do, and Russ's name came up. But Russ lives in Burlington, so he's not around all the time, but he's at our golf tournament every year. He's here sometimes for the Red Blacks training camp. He's here for the playoff game, the Snow Bowl last year, the big catch. He was here for that. He was at the Grey Cup last year, and he's down around here as often as he can. So this is why we picked Russ for this. And the other reason is you're going to watch this video when in 2014 they announced the Russ Jackson stamp. He made a speech there, and for all the guys, I know Sudsy that was there and myself, it brought tears to our eyes. And there's a 1-minute clip I'd like you to watch, and then we're going to bring up Russ.
Yeah.
You know, it was 57 years ago that I came to Ottawa, just about this time, some of the other guys that are here today, as a young, jug-eared quarterback from the small University of Hamilton, and tried to make the Ottawa Rough Riders. When I think back to the history of football in Ottawa, that was about the midpoint of the entire length of history of football, starting in the late 1800s with the Ottawa university teams that represented Ottawa. And since that time, hundreds of young men have had the opportunity to play the game they loved and represent this city, Ottawa. I happen to be one of them. The history is long and rich in terms of football in this city. I remember seeing pictures of a game going a little late at the football field, and cars were pulled up to the sideline, put their headlights on so they could continue and finish the game. That was true football, the love of the game. Today, things have changed a great deal. I would hope now that Ottawa is back in the league that someone would take the time to connect all the dots about the history of football in this great city, starting back in the late 1800s and getting us up to today where the future is so bright and promising with the Red Blacks. It is important because I know a lot of people have forgotten about Ottawa. I was at a sports dinner recently, and the money was being raised to help a children's hospital, and as part of the day, a group of about 10 or 12 of us athletes went to the hospital and started talking to the kids. And we were wandering around and chatting with them, and I noticed a little boy over in the corner, and he's about 10, 11 years old, so I sort of broke away from the group and wandered over. And I told him who I was and talked about the Ottawa Rough Riders. At the end of my conversation, I had one of those little pictures of myself, and I pulled it out of my pocket and I said, "Would you like this?" And he said, "No, but my grandmother might." Obviously, he didn't know the history of football in Ottawa. So it is important that we relive it, but we also look at the future. This stamp isn't about number 12. It's about all the guys who are here today. It's special because it is the history of football here in this city. And they have to recognize that it might be my picture, but they're there with me.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's important now as we reach the future that we support the Red Blacks. Football cannot fail in Ottawa again. Football is here to stay. I look forward to coming to many of the Red Black games. I look forward to their success, and I look forward to the first time they win a great cup for this great city and the great football fans in this city. You deserve to be applauded for continuing your support for the great sport. It is mine. This is a special day for myself, my wife, and my family. And I would just like to thank all of you for sharing this day with us. Thank you.
He averaged 6.84 yards per carry. We know he's a great passer and a tough guy and a leader and all that stuff. But I looked through the top 10 guys all-time rushing, and nobody in that top 10 had that average of 6.84. So this is the all-around guy, the all-around quarterback, Russell Stanley Jackson.
Emotional for me to watch that. I'm a wife. You know, football was very special in our family, and Ottawa naturally was, in terms of professional football, where it all happened. To be honored in this way is very special. I was always a team sport guy. I didn't really get involved in individual sports. I played baseball, I played hockey, I played basketball, I played football. Football was the one that led me to a professional team, the Ottawa Rough Riders. And I guess that was partly because some of the people here, some of the alumni will relate the same as I do, that when I was a young kid, and I was born in '36, the youngest of 5 kids in the Jackson family, and the 2 older above me, 2 older siblings were 2 girls. And my family, being the youngest and around that Depression time, couldn't afford for me to play individual sports, so that's why team became a really important thing with me. I'll tell you a little story that on my first day at school, in kindergarten in West Hamilton, there's a picture of it, and I've got it in my den. And because my 2 older siblings were girls, I went to school that first day wearing one of my older sister's black leotards. I had a short pair of pants on. I had one of my sister's sweaters, and to cap it all off, I had a pair of white patent shoes. But I think a lot of the alumni here back in those days can relate to that with their families, that it led me to team sports, it led me to loving playing with other people, the camaraderie with even kids 10, 11 years old, right up to the professional ranks. And I think that's one of the reasons when I think back to those early days in my life that I've come to appreciate so much that has happened for me and my family. I was at a dinner last night in Toronto. It was the Vanier Cup Awards, and I presented an award for 32 years now called the Russ Jackson Award. And it's given to the college football player who best combines his athletic ability, his scholarship, but most importantly, his citizenship, his commitment to his community. And you won't believe what these kids do in terms of their commitment to their community. Jeff has done a great job for us in the Alumni Association. I feel very fortunate to be up here with him today to receive this honor. And by the way, Jeff, I wouldn't mind getting something with your name on it to put in my den. But it really is, it is a special time. It is a special time for all the alumni that are here, 125, I believe, of us, making friends with these people again, and being able to talk to them and relive the memories that we shared together, both as teammates and as competitors. For me, it's been a wonderful walk, a wonderful story. And this culminates by being honored by you people, especially here in Ottawa. And as I mentioned when I started the stamp situation, this city is the best there is in this country as far as football support is concerned. I apologize to the Rough Rider fans here, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, but this city has taken over as the best boisterous group of people that go to a football game. Thank you for all your support. I look forward to always coming back to Ottawa and being part of their Alumni Association and part of just the general public here in this great city. Thank you very much for this honor.
So Jeff Avery's now going to come back up here, and besides these trophies, Rob Lockhart from Jostens is going to come up here, and each of these 2 CFL Men of the Year are get a special ring, and Jostens has designed this. So Jeff is back up here. So, and while you're waiting, get that envelope in the front, the white envelope, and get your money in there because there's a chance to win some real big money in this coin toss game that's coming up next. So is Rob here? Rob's looking for the rings. He's getting them out of his thing. Anyway, another thing with Russ, he was the first person we're going to have next year in Ottawa, a reunion of the 68 and 69 Grey Cup teams, and Russ was the one that initiated that. They talked about Henry, and Henry did a great job in Ottawa, but Russ retired with 2 Grey Cups in a row. How great was that? And I was fortunate to be along that playing defense those couple of years. So, Rob's here? Okay. Leo tells me he was my boss with the executive director of the CFL.